Denise here. I just filmed this look. If you are interested in seeing how to get this look, stick around. There's a lot of Younique products used, but there's also a lot of non-Younique products used this time around. I'm going to try to switch it up every now and then, get some different products in so people can see what they like about different things. So anyway, so if you are not a subscriber, subscribe. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. It'll help me out greatly. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks. Bye. Hi, so first off, I will be using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Drink of H2O Hydrating Boost to moisturize my skin. I totally forgot to put on primer after this. I don't know what I was thinking, but usually after moisturizing my skin with something, I do use a primer. I go back and forth between a few, but the Younique primer is really good. And I also enjoy the Smashbox primer and the Professional by Benefit. So now I'll be using the Born This Way foundation in Warm Nude. My camera will not focus for some reason, so yeah, I'll just tell you all the products. But anyways, Warm Nude, that's my color. If you need to be colored matched for that, you should totally just go into Sephora or something. They'll really help you out. After applying to spots on my face, I take a damp beauty blender and dab, 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 dab all over your face to work in the product. I don't know if you could tell in the video before, but my skin is really, really red and just icky right now. So this really helps a lot. So once you've blended until the cows come home, it's time for concealer. I'm using the Naked Skin in a light medium. This is one of my favorite concealers. I use Younique concealer a lot. Again, my camera would not focus. I go between this, my Younique concealer, and the Tarte Shape Tape. Those are some of my favorites. So what I was doing there was what everyone calls the triangle of light, putting a triangle underneath your eye where the light kind of reflects off of that. And I'm putting areas that I want to lighten as well, so the middle of my forehead, around my mouth, Cupid's bow on my chin, just so that it really brightens up my face. Now I'm just blending this in again. I take my concealer up onto my eyelids a little bit, just because I like to have a nice clean base. And then on top of that, I usually put an eye primer as well. So here I'm just going to blend, blend, blend. After you've blended all that in, it's time to put some life back in your face. I'm using Beachfront bronzer in Malibu to contour my face so I can give myself cheekbones again, because putting base on my face or foundation usually bases me out completely and I look dead. So nobody wants to look dead. You'll notice that the areas that I put contour are underneath my cheekbones, usually at the bottom of my chin and at the top of my forehead. You're going to want to put bronzer, either to create contour or also to highlight basically the areas that the sun touches so it looks natural. Now it's time for blush. This is the Younique blush in Scandalous. It is one of my favorites. You really do not need much. So you'll notice on the bronzer and the blush, I tap off the excess because it is so pigmented. If you just leave it the way it is, you will just end up with like clown cheeks. So watch out. Now it is time for eye primer. I just put this on directly over with the concealer I had on my eyes. Just kind of use your finger to dab it in. I've also seen people use damp beauty blenders, but I found that it soaks up too much of the product, so I'm not a big fan of that. I am now using my Younique loose concealer in the color Fresh. This is what I use to set my under eye concealer. It is one of my favorite things. It is just like amazing stuff. Like, it completely wakes you up the minute you put it on. I think you'll be able to tell the difference right after seeing what I do here. Now it's time for eyebrows. I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills in Soft Brown, the Dip Brow Pot. This is one of my favorite eyebrow products. Younique has one, and I do like it, but this just is a more dramatic look for me, and I like my eyebrows a little bit bolder, and I find it easy to work with. So this is just my jam. Now, I'm not going to take you through the big long process of doing my eyebrows. I will do an eyebrow tutorial here soon so that you can see how I do mine. I would hardly say it's perfect. I'm certainly not one of those YouTubers or Instagrammers or whatever who uses 30 eyebrow products to do one eyebrow. I like to keep it simple. So yeah, so this is just me. And this is the MAC angled shadow brush, or angled brush, excuse me. So you'll notice we're on to eyebrow number 2 now. When I'm doing my eyebrows, you'll notice that I tap on the front of my brow just to kind of blend it out. That is the easiest way I find to do that, to kind of get that color, diffused through my eyebrow. So, but you could use a spoolie as well. And in fact, here later on in the video, I do use a spoolie to evenly disperse the product throughout my brows. Here's that spoolie, diffusing that color through the brows. Like, it's a really good way of doing this. So if you are new to eyebrows, I strongly suggest you do this. Now we're on to palette number 1 for our eyes. I'm going to go in first with that shimmery color, which I can't remember what it's called right now. I can't see. Okay, so anyways, I will list it down below, the color that I used, but I'm going to kind of use that all over. You'll notice in my videos I try to use as few brushes as possible because I want people to be able to do these looks without buying a million and one brushes. These are both Younique brushes that I'm using. This one is the Deluxe Shadow Brush. Now I'm using Chipper, I believe, for the crease, and you'll see I'm using the same brush again because it's a great blending brush. I just keep blending with that brush until I am happy with the way it looks. And I do both eyes at the same time. I know a lot of people just do one eye at a time, but I like to balance it out with the exact same colors and all that, and I find it easier doing both eyes at the same time. I have to work quite a bit longer on this eye because you'll notice right there I kind of get some streaking, and it happens every single time I do my eyes. That area is like a nightmare to blend. I have like a scar there, and so it just is always a whole lot harder to blend. So you'll notice in every video I do, I always kind of struggle with that area a bit. Just keep blending, blending, blending. Now we're on to our next color, and here I am using, what is that? I can't tell what that is, v-forthright, I believe. Anyways, but I'm using the crease shadow brush to create that outer V. It's really good for obviously the crease, but it's also really good for creating that V shape on the outer edge. So it's kind of like it's called a crease brush, but it's kind of more like a pencil brush in my opinion. But it does a really great job for things like this. Now I'm going to use my deluxe brush again to blend out the colors that I just put on my eye, just to make it a seamless transition between everything on my eye so far. Now I'm going to go back with the crease brush, and I'm going to double up Chipper and v-forthright there, and put some of that underneath my eyes to kind of tie it all together. Now we're going to use the deluxe brush, and we're going to use the shade, I believe that's Brassy, and we're going to put that just kind of in the center of the eyelid, just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. Now we're going to use the crease shadow brush, and we're going to go in with that goldy color. I can't remember the color. We'll put it down below. And I'm just going to use that on my inner corner to highlight and, again, create some depth. Now we're using the lightest color in there. It's kind of like a bone shade. I'm going to use that on the brow bone to highlight and do just that, highlight. Now I'm going to use my favorite liquid eyeliner. It's a felt tip by Stila. It's the Stay All Day waterproof eyeliner. It is hands down my favorite felt tip eyeliner. It's kind of foolproof. Takes a little bit of playing with, I guess, but really, I mean, I'm doing this one-handed freehand, so it can't be that hard, right? Now I'm going to use my favorite mascara. It's Better Than Sex Mascara by Too Faced. This tube's getting a little bit old, so it's a bit clumpier than I would normally like, but it is usually perfect for this sort of thing. Really lengthens and volumizes lashes. Does a wonderful job. Okay, so I got a tiny fleck of mascara on my face. You'll see that there. When I was putting it on, it kind of flicked onto my face. Basically, I'm just going to let that dry, and then once it's dry, just literally flick it off my face with the brush. Don't try to take it off while it's wet. It's going to smear all over your face. Now I'm using my favorite Kylie Jenner lip shade. It's in Candy K. Camera won't focus again, but it's Candy K. It's one of my favorites. It's pretty much my go-to shade for liquid lipstick. It's the perfect nude. After that, I'm using my Becca Champagne Pop highlighter, which is my hands down favorite highlighter, and a fan brush from Morphe that came in my Morphe Pro brush set. It's really, really pretty. It's easy to blend, and the brush just does a really great job. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate y'all. Bye.